This is reddogterrain. Welcome back to the shed. Today we're building Cleric's Tower. So my buddy Cleric at Cleric's Creations, he had one of his subscribers, Photog Frank, send him a mystery box just full of bits and pieces and challenged Cleric to make something out of it. And when he put out that video, I was like, well, that's a really neat idea. And Cleric said to me, well, do you want your own mystery box? And I said, sure, I'm up for a challenge. A couple of weeks later, I get this box in the mail, and it gets all these wonderful little bits and pieces, and that's what we're doing. We're going to make at first, I really didn't know what we were going to make from all these bits that Cleric sent. What was a fun challenge is some of these things I didn't know what they were. Obviously some of them were pretty, easy to identify, a food container or, Scotch-Brite or a little air freshener, but some of these I had no idea. I think one's like a pencil sharpener bit, and then there's these random tubes, and there's this little curvy thing, and I had no idea what some of this was, and I was just, it honestly, it didn't matter, because all I was really looking for was the shapes and the way I could manipulate it and cut it to make it into something else. I think 95% of the stuff in this build all came from the box. I was also doing the Big Bot Challenge at the same time. So I was trying to keep them separated, but I think one or two little pieces from the other build might have leaked over into this one. In fact, I know there's one or two little pieces that kind of just migrated into the Cleric's Tower part. The majority of the build is just me taking bits and seeing how they'll fit together, or seeing how I can cut them just at the right angle to make them fit. The majority of this build is super glue and baking soda. For those who don't know, if you put baking soda in super glue or super glue in baking soda, it cures super fast. It also kind of fills in the gaps and makes a bit of a crust, which you can use for a good rust texture. Also, lots of sanding of the plastic. I only showed it once, but a lot of these pieces have a waxy film on or something that makes it difficult for the glue to stick. So everything got just a light sand just to knock off that top layer before it was being put together. The little container here was rather flimsy, but Cleric put in this foam, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just put the foam in there and kind of solidify it and strengthen it, and actually it worked pretty well. This, I think, was a piece from a pen, if I'm not mistaken. These little tubes, have no idea where these are from. I thought I was pretty clever with this next part. I needed a base to put this on because I had a few extra pieces, so I just used the box. I think that qualifies as being part of the challenge. I used everything in the box, and I used the box itself. So while I hack out bits of plastic and try and get them all to fit together to look like a thing, let me give a couple of shout outs. First off, to the band Aya, who I use in all of my videos. Thanks for letting me use your music. Check them out on Bandcamp, link in the description. Second shout out is to the Plastic Microphone Studio, which is a collection of local Louisiana people who are getting together to help each other with their podcasts and their YouTubes and self-promote. Please check them out. Also, link in the description. With my super strength, I cut up this shower curtain rod and bent it to make these little loops coming out of the tower. Honestly, it makes no sense. No tower would be built like this, but it looks cool, so I did it. The brown piece on the top left, I think it's like some kind of little cake or cupcake container. I really wanted to use it. It had a bunch of great texture, but it was super flimsy, and when I went to cut it to put it on there, it basically just kind of shattered and crumbled, which is a little disappointing, but I guess that's the way it goes. So this build has absolutely no foam because Cleric just didn't send me any foam, but I still felt the need to cover everything in the secret sauce, or at least the base of it. I know it does strengthen everything and provide a base coat, but it felt wrong not to put the secret sauce on something. Next is a base coat in black, overbrush in gray, dry brush is silver, some washes, and we're getting close. The blue-skinned alien, Sigor Gramsa, waited. He waited like he had been for the last 94 cycles. He had long since given up trying to keep the place tidy and clean and maintained. He had all the time he needed to do that, but what was the point? No one was coming to the tower. No one cared. No one was going to stop by and criticize the flaking paint. No one was going to complain about the overgrown grass. The tower rotated its slow rotation, scanning the air for something. Anything. But there was nothing. There was always nothing. Sigor Gramsa sighed, laid back down in the wild grass, and took a nap. So I took my favorite brush, this really busted up one, and if you paint like around the edges with a brush like this, it makes it look like the paint is flaked off, and you get all the little metal bits and the grays underneath, and you kind of purposely do a bad job of this. You want to leave gaps and make it look like it's chipped off and stuff like that. And at first it looks really bad. You're like, this looks awful. People are going to make fun of me. And then you put a wash over the whole thing, and it just surprisingly pulls everything together, and it looks right. This is definitely a technique I stole. I think I got this one from Eric's Hobby Workshop. I have 1 minute before we get to the glamour shots, and I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please leave a comment. They're my favorite. I always respond back to everything. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers. So at the time of this recording, I think I'm at 947. So if everybody could tell 53 friends about the channel, that would be great. And thanks to my buddy Cleric at Cleric's Creations for sending me the box and providing me this challenge. This was a lot of fun. And if you want your own box of stuff, just let me know. I'll be happy to send you a whole bunch of junk. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And we'll let the music play as we go to the glamour shots.